Well, hello and good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe. Thank you guys so much for taking in the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be talking about not Super Mario Galaxy movie, which of course I know that so many people are intending to go out and watching this. I know this because I saw a theater full of, families, kids, everybody knowing what they were going to go out and watch. Hoppers is still out, so most likely they've already seen that one, but now they're going out to seeing this newly animated film feature that's out in theaters right now. But for me, on the other hand, I wanted to watch something a little more realistic, something more grounded, something that I can very well connect and have a clear understanding as to, the story and its characters and such. So, besides this Mario movie, out comes another film that I was actually a little anticipated to watch, even though I wasn't part of my list that I had announced at the end of the year. Just watching the trailer itself, it really got me pumped up and really excited to getting to seeing how this movie was going to take itself towards, how it's going to approach itself, which is of course none other than the drama. The drama is distributed by A24. When you see A24, you would think that at first that this is probably a rom-com. That you were just gonna go and have a great fun, laugh out time at a romantic comedy. Unfortunately, when you see the distributor of A24 posted onto the trailer of this movie, something's up. That means something is up. Something's going on. Something's gonna happen. It's not your typical bright, fun, grounded rom-com film that you would think after watching this trailer. Similar movies like this throughout the past that A24 has been associated with throughout the years, like Moonlight, Room, Marty Supreme, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, The Disaster Artist, and then of course there's some other movies that are coming out later on this year, also by A24, like Backrooms, and this new movie that I saw as a preview before watching this movie called The Invite with Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen. I never heard of that movie, but when I saw the trailer, immediately I just said, this looks great. I can't wait to watch this. That comes out this summer. So, this movie is directed by Christopher Borgli. And I'm not really familiar with his work either. I've been getting introduced to a lot of great directors, especially within this year, of so many different films that I love the project that they do of the film that I am reviewing on. So it gets me very excited to seeing what else that they had in store with different film projects. So when it comes to Borgli, he did other films like Sick of Myself, Dream Scenario. I heard that one's very good. Dib and Soft Core. I gotta go watch those. I've never seen any single one of those. So, very excited as to seeing, different projects out there, different scenarios as to, the stories that they're willing to tell and adapt through. This movie, of course, obviously stars none other than Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. Robert Pattinson plays a character named Charlie. And we all know Pattinson from all of his previous projects that he's done throughout the years, like the Twilight Saga, the Batman, the Lighthouse, Mickey 17, Tenet, Remember Me, Walk for Elephants, etc. And then, he did announce that once when he's finished, talking about this movie, the drama, that he's already going to go ahead and jump onto his next project, which is, of course, the Batman Part 2. Very excited. Not a fan of the first film, but I'm still looking forward to seeing a new Batman flick. And yes, everybody knew him for the longest time as Edward from the Twilight Saga, and he's come a long way since that because I've seen his work already in other films prior to the Twilight Saga. Popping up in like The Lighthouse, and my most personal favorite, I loved the way that he acted in this movie, was Mickey 17. Which really got me pumped up to realize that this guy, he can act. He can, if you can make yourself into believing the audiences who are watching your work being a completely different other person and believing in it, then you've done your job. You've done a magnificent job of being a really great actor. And you can see the work that he puts into it. So he does a really great job into this movie. And Zendaya plays his fiancee named Emma. And we know her, especially, of course, with throughout the Spider-Man films with Tom Holland, which, by the way, of course, they had just recently got married, I think about a month or so ago. So congratulations to the two. She pops up on the HBO Max series of Euphoria, Challengers, the Dune movies, and I love this one, The Greatest Showman. So she does a lot of great work. These two are very favorable actors in the world of Hollywood right now. They do a lot of great movies. Their acting is spectacular. I always have a great time watching them both. So it was what also brought me into watching this movie is just seeing these two team up. And I remember there was a time when there was a picture of these two looking like they were lovey-dovey, and Zendaya showing off her engagement ring, and people were under the assumption that these two were together. And we're just like, well, wait a minute, whatever happened to Mr. Tom Holland? Unfortunately, this is not a legitimate photo. This is actually a poster to the film, The Drama. And so it fooled everybody. And so it even fooled me because the photo looks absolutely real. But no, it was actually a poster to this film. So kudos to them both. But yeah, their chemistry is actually spot on. I really do love the relationship between these two. And it's one of those where you really do wish that these two were actually together in real life, even though that we respect them with their actual real relationships with their fellow partners. But I love Zendaya's acting in this because she has this sarcastic humor that I'm very admired towards. She does this a lot in a lot of her other projects. And she does that a lot in this. And even though that this movie is not a rom-com, I really do love the fact that it may seem to be, but it's more of a dark comedy. There's a lot of dark aspects into this film, even though it's very bright throughout its marketing. It goes through a lot of dark corners that really leaves us in a very complicated position of pure entertainment. But you know, even though that it is dark, it does have some sarcastic humor in it, which of course brings us into Zendaya. But also Pattinson does the same great job of doing that as well. So I had a few laughs. It was great. It wasn't anything that was laughing towards anything serious. It was just having more of a clearer understanding of how these relationships. What the direction that they take themselves through. So you have more of an understanding, and because you had some experiences in those fields, and knowing that they're going through that same experiences as you did, that's what brings in the comedy. What's great about this movie is the editor named Joshua Raymond Lee, who did other projects like Ripley, We Own the City, and Steve Jobs. Never seen any of those either, but I really did love the editing in this. Because even though it has a story to tell, there's a lot of things that are skipped, but yet they are told later on into the film to give you a more clear telling of how they want to describe this story through and through. So I was very happy in how because there's a lot of editing. There's a lot of snip snaps all over the place. But in the way that they're placed into the film, it just gives you more of a clearer understanding of how the movie is being told to you. So it is a great, fun, entertaining time. I had a great time with this. One of the things about this movie that really drove me, there's so many things, but this one in particularly, which I think will bring a lot of others into the movie, was, of course, in the marketing. It really explains about how one evening, a group of friends get together, they have a little too much to drink, most likely drunk, decide to play a game to build up their relationship of getting to know each other a little bit more. before these two are getting married, because this is within the week of before they have their wedding. You would think that these two know each other, they love each other, because they're both very attractive people. They are both very loving, and you can tell that they're very well connected. They always have their laughs. They always have a great time together. You can honestly tell that these two, within the movie, are meant to be together, that they're meant to be married. But when they go ahead and decide to play this game of wanting to reveal what is the worst thing that they have ever done in their entire life, and they need to be truly honest in order to make this game help with their relationship to build itself forward, they have to really say what's the worst thing that they've ever done in their life. So one reveals, no spoilers here, but one reveals, and then another one reveals, and then another one reveals. And all three of their stories sound a little too dark. Like, I mean, wow. Like, I was thinking the entire time, like, I can see how you would call it a worst thing you've ever, a worst thing that you've ever done in your life, but it's a little too much. Because when Emma is the last one to reveal her little secret of the worst thing that she's ever done in her life, when she does that, and I will not say this, I would really expect for you guys to find this out, to go and watch the movie for yourself. When she does do that, immediately everything that everybody else has done wrong is completely ignored, and hers is the worst thing ever on the face of the earth. And I'll admit, it is a very terrible thing. It is. And I'm going to get a little religious here. I'm going to get a little spiritual here. Who are we to decide? Who are we to decide, if you are a good person or a bad person? You went through this experience. You put yourself in a position that you were truly lost in. And because of it, you committed some actions that something that you would take to your grave, but yet one silly drunken night had you just decide to just blurt it out, and all of a sudden you're being judged, you're being criticized. And that's what we live in this day of age right now through social media, that a lot of people judge and criticize. You could be the most greatest person excuse me, you could be the most greatest person on the face of the earth, being a good person, being a good individual, helping others in need, things like that. You could be great. But then when you splat out one significant error in your life, boom, everything else just goes straight in the garbage. All you are now identified as imprinted as the worst person on the face of the planet. We all make mistakes. We really do. We all make mistakes. We are not perfect, regardless of what you've done. The past is the past. Leave it behind you and move forward. So when it comes to a movie like this, it's very, very complicated. It's very complicated because the character Charlie, who is played by Robert Pattinson, having to believe that he thought that he had met the right one, knowing that he knew her completely inside and out, knowing completely that, he was ready and destined to marry this individual and spend the rest of his life with, calling her his wife, is now second guessing, is now under the position as to whether or not should he marry her? Does he trust her? Does he even know her anymore? Them both have already became two completely different people compared to who they were before that night. And so this story is about how these two, even though they love each other, they're trying to discover one another based off of the shadows of their past. And I think that that's a really great way to tell a story of what they do. And that secret alone really just drives someone like myself wanting to go to the theaters and watching it. And I did, and I enjoyed every single second of it. It was a great, fun film. The secret that's being told, which of course it takes place a little earlier into the film, because it's really the basis of what the movie is trying to explain to us. The story, the secret is, like I said, I'm not going to say it, but it is a terrible thing. It is a terrible thing. And I wish that I can get more into some depth into it, and I really don't want to, because I really would love for you guys to tell me your perspectives on it once you go and watching it. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep my mouth shut. The movie is very new right now, and if you're gonna go out and watch a Mario Galaxy movie, go right on ahead. But I really do recommend for all of you grown adults out there who have lived a life of, into a serious relationship, leading to marriage, being married, divorced, whatever, whatnot. This is a good movie for you to watch. It really builds up a great conversation between you and your significant other. This is a really great date movie as well, too. Like I said, it will bring really great conversations between the two of you. Which is why I'm having a blast just talking about it in this review. So, and one of the things I want to advise all of those deeply in love individuals out there, I would have to say, don't rush into marriage. Don't rush into, into a very serious relationship immediately. Get to know each other, get to know one another for a good period of time. Don't get to know this individual for a short period, like a month or 6 months or such. Know the person for at least a maximum, for at the very least of 2 years, and then consider moving on to the next step of, getting married. And they do have a saying that if you really love this other individual, you will accept them for who they are, regardless of what their past is. No matter how deep or how dark, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that the two of you are, committing to one another, building a life together, through thick and thin. No matter what dark corners you both get yourselves into, you both are going to succeed out of it together. That's what it's all about. And I think that the movie was just great, fun, fantastic. I think that I love on how the way these two meet. I love on how the relationship is shown on the way it's built, and how you can tell that these two actually really do love each other. And I really do enjoy in how the movie ends. It really puts you in a little bit of a pickle, trying to determine where is this going to go next. And there are movies that I would really get upset when they do that, but this one, however, you very much know where it's leaning itself towards, and once it gets there, it's a fantastic way to leave the theater asking yourself, are they going to make it, or are they not going to make it? But I love their little inside humor between the two, that how they both understand each other, and that they have this romantic connection between them both. So it's a phenomenal movie. I really do highly recommend it. On Rotten Tomatoes, they gave it an 80%, so which is great. That means it's a good thing. For me, I actually liked it. I actually loved it a little bit more, giving it for the movie, the drama. I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a 92%. It is really that good. It really is. Now, like I said, the secret that's being told by the character Emma is not going to be very frowned upon with a lot of audiences. It probably, because I could see in how this can really divide people into whether they're going to like the movie or they're going to not like the movie. So it's really up to you. It's really up to you. I hate saying that. I hate being told that, but it's the honest truth. It's really up to you on how you take it, on how it's going to be delivered to you. Can you understand where this character is coming from and as to why she did of what she did? Or are you going to take it offensively and say, you know what? This movie is not for me. I'm not going to watch another second of it. I cannot accept what this character has done, and and how it's being told. So it's highly understandable. But on my part, even though I'm against it myself, don't get me wrong, I'm against it, but I understand it. I very much do. when you know a thing, or when you get to know something about somebody and you're not okay with it, my advice is don't judge nor criticize. Learn to understand the reasons why. Learn to understand the reasons why. Never criticize nor judge. People are different. People have gone through many different upbringings. You know, nobody's perfect. Everybody's different. And you know, just learn to accept that individual. If you are really intending to spending the rest of your life with this in particular somebody, make sure that when you know them, know everything about them, that you are willing to accept that, and you're willing to moving forward with this individual, and them you as well, vice versa. So anyways, you guys, I loved this movie, and I hope that you guys too. That is my review for The Drama. When you guys go and check it out, which I really recommend you do, come back to this video, leave a comment down in the section in the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you'd like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but most importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on that like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate everybody's support in having to doing that. And as well to click on that notification bell for future videos that'll be posted up within time. So anyways, you guys, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream, and as always, stay awesome. Thanks, you guys, once more again. And to my baby girl, Daddy loves you, Daddy misses you, and can't wait to see you one day. And to everyone else, I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.